welcome to
The Philosophy of Fool!
In this series I'm talking about current widely held beliefs that I personally disagree with. Why I disagree. I'm going to put down, I might not be right, but I'm going to put down why I disagree with them. And that can be thought-provoking for everybody. And if you disagree with me, put a comment down and then we can learn from each other. So the one that I'm looking at the moment is that phrase, don't overanalyze. Have you heard that? You know that when you have that problem that keeps niggling at the back of your head, and people tell you, don't overanalyze, you're thinking about it too much. And if you stop thinking about it, then you're going to find peace and happiness. So your problem is that you keep thinking about this thing. So I don't know about meditation, but on one level you sit and you think about nothing, and so you're not thinking about your problems because you're thinking about nothing. But then on the other hand, once you stop thinking about nothing, your problem is still going to be there. But I think there's a couple which I thought maybe held water. One of them is you may be detached from your sense of identity, because your idea of who you are can be quite limiting. So if you can get rid of that, you get rid of the limitations. Another very good idea I've heard about the purpose of meditation is to actually exist in the moment. Because we go through our lives, we spend so much of our lives actually thinking either what we're going to do or what we've already done, and we very rarely actually experience what's here and now in the moment. And it reminds me of that, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where at the bottom you've got sort of things like, food and shelter and things to survive, and then it goes up and you have things that make you more comfortable. At the top, the pinnacle of your existence is self-actualisation. So that's kind of reaching your full potential. And the trouble is, living in the moment is a big theme in self-actualisation, but there's something that I personally disagree with about it, which I think it's a logical contradiction. Because if you're living in the moment, you can't reflect on what you've done, because you're not thinking about what you've done in the past. You're in the moment. And I think to grow mentally, you need to think about all different things so you can learn from them. So my idea of self-actualisation, and again I might be wrong, this is just my opinion, is that it's kind of a view of someone looking at what they perceive as a self-actualised person, if maybe that's a hypothetical concept, but looking from the outside and thinking this is how that person is existing, but not actually experiencing that state themselves. So that's what it looks to me. Indeed, in this world there are some characters who see life as an episode of Game of Thrones and see themselves as puppet masters. And this phrase, don't overanalyze, I think I've heard it sometimes from these, like the more manipulative characters of our brothers and sisters, because they don't want people to think about and work out their dastardly tricks and schemes. But if you think about your problem, here's an approach to problem solving. To start with, you've got your problem here, and there's a certain amount of things that you can do, actions you can take which can help your problem. So you do those actions, and there's this other portion that you have no control over. So that's like spinning the roulette wheel, and then you just have to wait and see what happens. But the thing is, whatever outcome of whatever number that wheel lands on, then you can work out contingency plans. So you can think, well, if this nasty thing happens, what am I going to do? How will I deal with it? And what if this happens? What am I going to deal with it? And so if you've got these plans in place, it can be just a concept, but then you feel like you're equipped to deal with that situation. And the other thing is there's like a wrestling match between your imagination and your logic. So one approach that I do is, because if you just let your imagination run riot, so if you pin it down with logic, if you question it, interrogate this thing that you're worried about, And you can pin it down and think, well, is this actually realistic? Is that person likely to react in that way? Or, these things. And that can tame it a little bit. So that's one approach. And one thing I heard about philosophy, I remember from when I was young, is this idea of, if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, there is whatever that thing, however that thing goes. And it seems like something that's not practical, not practical at all. But I think philosophy is a very, very practical skill because it equips you to deal with any kind of trauma. If something goes wrong in your life, then you're mentally prepared to handle it. If a double-decker bus falls out of the sky and lands on your house, or a satellite hits your car. Maybe I got those two muddled up. If a satellite hits your car, you're mentally, emotionally equipped to deal with these traumatic things, and you can get through it more quickly. But whatever this problem is that people are telling you not to overanalyze, my advice is this, my personal advice: analyze the bejesus out of it, and then you'll understand it. Understand every aspect of it. Work out why it's happening, turn it upside down, take the bottom off to see how it works. The more you understand about it, the more peace of mind this is going to give you to start with. And also the next time when you come across the same problem, you won't be in the same place you are now. Because if you don't think about it, the next time you come across that problem, you'll be in the same situation and it will be just as difficult, just as much of a problem. But if you've learnt from this experience now, and you've analysed it, you understand it, you've dealt with it, so when this thing happened, you worked out what you were going to do, and you followed your plan, and you survived it. Well done, you survived it. And then the next time it comes along, we'll say, well, I know what I'm handling here. I can deal with this. I can nail this. So, this is my advice. Don't not overanalyze it. Analyze the bejesus out of it, and then you understand it better, and you're better equipped to deal with it in the future. That's the conclusion of this episode of the Philosophy of Fools. So I hope that was on some level thought-provoking. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, please put your thoughts down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hopefully I can learn from you, and have a wonderful day.